afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I see you over there, my Clubhouse family. I see you chiming in right here on YouTube. I see you, YouTube family. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all know what time it is. You know what time it is. It is Tuesday, June the 15th, y'all. We're halfway through the month of June, but you know what time it is. It is Keeping Up with Congress, y'all. Keeping Up with Congress. If you are following me right here on Clubhouse, I see you, Family Sin and VSG Life and Marcus. Thank you for joining me. Ping some folks into the room. Let's get this party started. If you are following me right here on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification, hit the share, spread the word, y'all, because you know what time it is. We are keeping up with Congress. I keep telling you, we will not, N-O-T, capital N, capital O, capital T, not get reparations, y'all, without negotiations. We can't go to Congress thinking that we're going to get this bag and we're going to get this check cut and we're going to get what we need without negotiating with Congress. We're going to have to know the players. We need to know these legislators. We need to know the game they play, because they play a game. They all are. Somebody sent them there. They're bought and sold. We need to understand the game they playing so that when we do get to Congress, y'all, we'll be able to negotiate very strategically. We won't be behind the 8 ball trying to figure this stuff out, trying to figure out who they are. We have already seen the legislation. We would have already seen it. We already know how they're moving. So this is how we win and get our reparations administration, y'all, right? All right, you know, I always like to bring you some reparations news, but before I get started, you know, I got to play my commercial. You know, I got a new little commercial, y'all, so I got to play this commercial. Thank you for tuning in for Keeping Up with Congress. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, your candidate for the United States Senate. I'm a progressive Democrat that believes that reparations will make America great. It is time that we bridge the divide in this country. Please go to the website. That's tamara4georgia.com. www.tamara, Tamara4, Georgia spelled out.com. Please join me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here for Keeping Up with Congress. All the way in. Let's dive all the way in. For those of you that are watching here on YouTube, I'm sharing my screen so you can see it. Clubhouse family, I'll be with you at 5:30. You know, we bring it over there and we chop it up. We have a robust conversation. I'll bring it over to you at 5:30. So let's dive in. I'd like to bring you reparations news. So Evanston, Illinois is to begin paying reparations to some Black descendants this summer. Some, keyword, some Black citizens, y'all. Citizens, not descendants. It should say descendants. It says citizens this summer. So the article goes on to say, our goal here in Evanston is to repair the egregious acts against the Black community, specifically by the Evanston municipal government, says Robin Ruth Simmons, a former, y'all. I had to highlight this word for those of you that are watching here on YouTube. You can see I had to highlight this word. That thing says former. Did they get rid of Robin Ruth Simmons? She lost her seat, y'all. Somebody do the research, do the homework. Let's find out what happened to Robin Ruth Simmons after she introduced this reparations, quote unquote, legislation, because she doesn't have her seat anymore. Says Robin Ruth Simmons, a former Evanston alderman who led the push for reparations while in office. Y'all, they got rid of Robin. Somebody do the research and let's get to the bottom of that one. Goes on to say, as part of Evanston's restorative housing program, the city will award $25,000 this summer to a small number of eligible Black residents for home down payments, mortgage payments, or home repairs. The program is backed by the city's reparations fund. But, you know, we've already seen in Keeping Up with Congress, y'all, that they are pushing back. There's been some threats of a lawsuit against the city of Evanston and making this thing, you know, it may not even happen. I guess they're trying to push forward, but there's the threat of some lawsuits. We've seen that. The article goes on to say critics argue that Evanston is offering a housing voucher program, not reparations. It is not reparations. And we're those of us who understand that reparations is federal. This is not reparations. Goes on to say they believe calling it reparation does more harm than good. I agree, but damn it, we're going to take what we can get, right? Rose Cannon is an organizer for Evanston's Reject Racist Reparations. She said reparations should be direct payments to Black residents. She better say that again. Let's read that line again. She said reparations should be direct payments to Black residents. But here's where we get it. Those of us who've been following the movement, we understand you got to define Black. All skin folks and kin folks. So we want to make sure that those who are receiving those direct payments are descendants of chattel slavery in this country. That's all that reparations is. The article goes on to say there should be no restrictions on how to spend it. Cannon is concerned that other cities could follow Evanston's lead, and they have. You got Asheville, North Carolina. You got Amherst, Massachusetts. So they have followed the lead of Evanston, and they're trying to create reparations initiatives in their cities. So yeah, it's already happening. The article goes on to say we want them to stop calling it reparations. You can have this program if you want to, but just call it a housing program. I agree. Goes on to say Dr. William Darity, a Duke University economics professor, wrote a book making the case for reparations. He said Evanston can't afford the cost of reparation. Darity said no state or municipality can, in which we all know that to be the truth. Goes on to say Darity estimates the reparations price tag is $14 trillion, about $350,000 per person. He said that will help close the Black-white wealth gap. Whatever took place at a local level or at a state level in the United States is a consequence of the legal conditions that were established by the federal government. Dr. Darity is speaking truth to these people, speaking truth, y'all. So this is an article about Evanston, and some of their Black citizens might start receiving some payments this summer. We're going to keep our eyes on Evanston because they're going to get sued, I think. Those people are threatening. They're going to get sued. But here's an article that I thought was interesting. I told you just yesterday, we read an article about women. This was an opinion piece, how women are owed reparations. Women, in the general sense, women are owed reparations. We heard last week about Trump talking about China owes reparations. You see how they're trying to dilute the message, totally dilute our message, our justice claim, trying to make it seem like, anybody can get reparations. They're diluting what we're trying to, what our initiative is. But here's one I thought you would find interesting. I found it interesting. This is the article that says how reparations can rectify past persecutions of the LGBTQ people. And now they're trying to say not only Trump saying China, the opinion piece yesterday said women. Now today, this piece says the LGBTQ community is owed reparations. Y'all, I know we got to be making headway because the pushback that we're getting now is tremendous. So this article goes on to say, we need to understand and embrace the true meaning of the word and start to have genuine conversations about reparations for LGBTQ people, a group that has endured a long and painful history of persecution around the globe. The article says perhaps the most high-profile persecutions of gays were those perpetrated by the Nazis during the Second World War. Thousands of gay men were sent to concentration camps where they were forced to wear a pink triangle and ultimately killed. Goes on to say from the 12th century, gays in Christian Europe were castrated, decapitated, drowned in swamps, and burned at the stake. And in modern times, the state-sanctioned killing of LGBTQ people continues in many countries, including Iran and Saudi Arabia. They making the case for reparations for the LGBTQ community, y'all. There are numerous forms of gay reparations. There are numerous forms that gay reparations can take. They often entail a formal government apology to the LGBTQ community for past wrongdoings and a promise to do better in the future. They can also include memorializing the victims of state-sponsored repression of gays, as Germany did in 2008 when it unveiled a memorial to gay victims of the Holocaust. Gay reparations often include pardons to those convicted of the crime of being gay. It says occasionally gay reparations can involve financial compensation for wages or pensions lost due to time spent in prison or mental institutions because of a homosexual offense. Such compensation has been available in Spain since 2009 and in Germany since 2016. Y'all, they making the case for why reparations is owed to the LGBTQ community. I told you this is diluting the message, our work, the impact that we're making. They're trying to really dilute it. It goes on to say, what are the arguments against gay reparations? It goes on to say there's a strong resistance to the idea of gay reparations in some countries, especially the United States. Some of the opposition is rooted in run-of-the-mill homophobia. Statistics show a rise in hate crimes against the LGBTQ people in recent years. Goes on to say a U.S. scholar who wrote the new book, The Case for Gay Reparations, identified 5 arguments used by opponents against gay reparations. The first argument is, it is wrong to apply today's values to the historic persecution of gays because the discrimination perpetrated against gays in the past was generally legal at the time. The second argument is this is no more than an excuse in virtue signaling, with the risk of becoming a slippery slope that could open the floodgates to reparations for just about anyone who has faced hardship or discrimination in life. See, they're watering it and diluting our message, y'all. Number 3, gay reparations are divisive and take identity politics and victimhood to a new level. It's kind of like the reasons why they're saying we don't deserve it. Reason number 4, gay reparations lack justification because unlike the case of racial discrimination, there's little evidence of intergenerational damage linked to anti-gay discrimination. And number 5, they are redundant because of the economic success of the gay community. Ooh, this article, y'all. Critics of gay reparations are misinformed about the purpose of acknowledging and repairing the wrongs perpetrated against the LGBTQ people. Their arguments rely on stereotypes and flawed comparison between gays and other groups that have been persecuted, especially African Americans, and generally show a lack of empathy for the gay community. Y'all, and they actually posted something. I didn't know Elizabeth Warren back in 2019 posted about, this is a tweet that says Elizabeth Warren comes out in support of gay reparations. Like, come on. I don't know. Here we go. Well, this article goes on to say, I'm about done reading it, y'all. Another 30 seconds. While these reforms are welcome, they are merely the start of the journey towards equality for the LGBTQ people, not the end. It is time all countries acknowledge and offer reparations for the mistakes of homophobic laws that have targeted gays and destroyed millions of lives. Now, whatever y'all do with that, I'm gonna leave it on the table. Whatever y'all do with it, I'm gonna leave it on the table. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, y'all. We are taking this campaign to the United States Senate. We got reparations to get for those who are descendants of chattel slavery. Let's be real specific. We have reparations. Our reparations is for those who are descendants of chattel slavery. It is a justice claim. We know our arguments. We have our talking points. We just have to keep waking folks up. We are on the right track. This pushback to me proves that we're on the right track when Trump is talking about reparations for China. This opinion piece we saw yesterday talking about reparations for women. Today, reparations for the LGBTQ community. Come on now. We got to be on the right track. They're diluting and watering down our message. Let's dive into the bills, y'all. Keeping up with Congress. Like I said, we will not get reparations without negotiations. So let's keep our eyes on what they're doing. So let's dive in. HR 866 is the FISH Act. I'll be with you in 13 minutes, Clubhouse family. I'll come over there and we can chop it up for about 30 minutes. I like to keep the room open to the top of the hour. So we're going to dive into 10 bills. HR 866 is the FISH Act. Representative Ken Calvert, he's a Republican out of California. This bill gives the Fish and Wildlife Service the sole authority to protect endangered or threatened species that are anadromous. I had to Look this word up and let it say it. Anadromous. Anadromous, which is species of fish that spawn in fresh or estuarine waters and that migrate to ocean waters. Or catadromous. Now, I don't know nothing about fish, y'all. Species. It's a species of fish that spawn in ocean waters and migrate to fresh waters. It says currently the Fish and Wildlife Service shares this authority with the National Marine Fisheries Service. So they want sole authority, the Fish and Wildlife Service. So interesting legislation. I tell you, I take special interest in 4 areas: food, air, water, and land. Now, we're going to eat some of these fish. We need to know about what Representative Ken Calvert out of California, what he's doing, because this is our food source, y'all. HR 866. HR 867 is the High-Speed Rail Corridor Development Act of 2021. This is Representative Jim Costa. He's a Democrat out of California. The High-Speed Rail Corridor Development Act of 2021. This bill revises and reauthorizes through fiscal year 2025 the High-Speed Rail Corridor Development Competitive Grant Program of the Department of Transportation. Goes on to say, in awarding grants, the bill requires the DOT to prioritize projects that involve the purchase of electrified next generation passenger rail equipment, and 2, applications for projects that provide for a greater non-federal share of the cost of such projects. So this is a transportation project. I really can appreciate high-speed rail. I'm gonna tell you, I live in the metro Atlanta area, and I'm from South Georgia, and I'm gonna tell you, we have one stretch of highway from Atlanta to South Georgia. One stretch of highway. So imagine if we were to have, just here in the state of Georgia, just some high speed, and there's nothing down there, y'all. In a lot of these areas, this would totally create, some stops along the way. I could just see it being like, a faster way if you don't want to fly. I know you could take Amtrak, but y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I took Amtrak in 2019, was it, when to the Byron Allen Supreme Court hearing. I took it from Atlanta to Washington, D.C., y'all, and I'll never in my life do that again. Your girl got sick as a dog. Your girl was sick. The time that train took off and all that shaking, I was sick from the time it took off till the time it stopped. That was probably about 13 hours. I will never ride that thing again. So I would like to see there be a more sophisticated, more comfortable way to travel, because that thing had me sick. All that shaking and rocking, and it had me sick, y'all. So I would like to see this HR 867, the High-Speed Rail Corridor Development Act of 2021. Representative Jim Costa, Democrat out of California. HR 868, HR 868 is the End Stigma Act. The End Stigma Act. This is Representative Madeline Dean, Democrat out of Pennsylvania. This bill authorizes the Department of Health and Human Services to award grants to institutions of higher education. Listen to this, y'all. To higher education to educate students about substance use disorders. About substance use disorders. Now it's a healthcare crisis. Now, when y'all flooded the Black community with crack and locked everybody up, it wasn't no healthcare crisis then. But now you want us to put money into education, some grants, higher education, to educate students about substance use disorders. Now it's a healthcare crisis, y'all. Yeah, in the stigma. Who's the stigma on? It's been on us. Education for New Dispositions on Stigma Act, or the End Stigma Act, y'all. Representative Dean Madeline, Democrat out of Pennsylvania. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention to where the monies are going and how these monies are being spent. HR 869, HR 869. This is the RISE Act of 2021. The RISE Act of 2021. This is Representative Diane DeGetta, Democrat out of Colorado. Now, here's where Joe Biden, those Democrats is making it rain, y'all. Listen to this. I tell you, if you don't have a business, nonprofit, or something in this post-COVID Biden administration, you better get you one. If not, you better align yourself with one, because I'm going to tell you, they are making it rain. So this bill, the RISE Act of 2021, This bill authorizes the departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, the Interior, Health and Human Services, and Transportation, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, the National Science Foundation, and Environmental Protection Agency to provide support for research regarding COVID-19 or research disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. So anybody and all these agencies now can do some research on COVID-19 in some capacity. I don't know how NASA what does NASA have to do with COVID-19? Maybe I'm missing it and y'all can educate me, because I don't know why NASA needs some COVID money. I don't know. So they get to do this research and they get to do this research and I don't get it with this or whatever was disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And they're gonna get some monies. DeGata said, this is how they're making it rain. Diane DeGata. HR 869, look it up for yourself. This is why we keep up with Congress. You'll see where the money's going. Because I don't know why NASA need COVID money, but y'all might know. I'm gonna let y'all tell me, educate me. HR 870, we're halfway through. We got about 7 more minutes, y'all. We will be done with today's Keeping Up with Congress. But HR 870, National Broadband Plan for the Future Act of 2021. This is Representative Anna Issue. Anna is a Democrat out of California. This bill requires the Federal Communication Commission, the FCC, to update the National Broadband Plan, which establishes benchmarks to meet the goal of ensuring that all people of the United States have access to broadband capacity. Absolutely, because I told you in parts of South Georgia, your phone don't halfway work, internet is choppy. Yes, please make sure that everybody has access to broadband in these United States, specifically after COVID. We are now in a digital world. I appreciate these Zooms and all these digital meetings that we now can attend. I did a conference yesterday, a whole conference online. So yeah, let's make sure that everybody has the capacity, the digital capacity to stay engaged and keep up with the world. So this is HR 870, y'all. HR 871 is the Expand Medicaid Act Now. Expand Medicaid Act Now. I thought this bill was interesting. This bill is to incentivize states to expand Medicaid. And it's interesting because it provides a new incentive for holdout states like Texas to expand Medicaid by increasing the amount of federal funding to any new expansion state. Texas is one of 12 states that have not expanded Medicaid. An estimated 1.2 million Texans will be eligible for coverage under the expansion, y'all. So they're going to give them some more money. So is that part of the plan for why some of these states hold out on Medicaid? Because let's see, is she a Democrat? Who is this? Representative Lizzie Fletcher, Democrat out of Texas. So y'all going to give them even more money. Y'all going to pay them off to expand Medicaid? You're going to give them more money, Lizzie? Y'all keeping up with Congress. I don't know. It's a new incentive for holdout states by increasing the amount of federal funding to any new expansion state. So yeah, y'all gonna give them some extra money. HR 872, y'all keeping up with Congress. HR 872. This is Representative Russ Fulcher. This is the One Subject at a Time Act. One Subject at a Time Act. It's a Republican out of Idaho. This bill requires each bill or joint resolution to include no more than one subject and the subject to be clearly and descriptively expressed in the measure's title. I agree. I told you some of these bills, y'all, it's just they piggyback, they just throw all this stuff in there. I can appreciate that. I tell you, there's certain things we have seen with keeping up with Congress, from abortion to veterans, immigration, national security, gun legislation, and streamlining of these processes. So this is one of these bills where they're trying to streamline processes and clean up the way they do business in Congress. I ain't mad at them because a lot of these bills are just all over the place. So One Subject at a Time Act, Representative Russ Fulcher is Republican out of Idaho. HR 873, just a couple more bills, y'all. HR 873 is ensuring the American Voters Act of 2021, ensuring American Voters Act of 2021. This is Representative Bob Gibbs, Republican out of Ohio. This bill prohibits states from registering an individual to vote in federal elections unless the individual provides documentary proof of U.S. citizenship. So here's the pushback. A lot of these states will allow you to, they want to have automatic voter registration. Like if you go to the driver's, the DMV and you get your driver's license, they want automatic voter registration. But the only thing this bill is saying is that they need to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship. So this is where you see this fight of voter suppression versus voter fraud. They keep you damn confused intentionally. So the Democrats would say, well, you're stopping people from, you don't want us to have automatic voter registration. No, this bill is specifically saying, let's have some proof before you just register people to vote and you don't know if they citizens or not. Let's just have some proof. So this is where they keep us fighting, and they try to make it look like they keep us stupid and keep us on one side or the other. But I appreciate the fact that those of you that are listening, we smarter than that. We smarter than that. We see this bird that's and this bird with this, two wings of the same bird, the left wing, the right wing, same bird, two sides of the same coin, same coin. HR 874, one more bill, and we're going to call it a day. HR 874 is the AOC Act. The AOC Act. This is Representative Louis Gohmert, Republican out of Texas. Louis Gohmert, Republican out of Texas. This bill repeals Section 230 of the Communications Act of 1934, which protects a provider or user of an interactive computer service, example, social media company, from liability for screening or blocking objectionable content. And this is pretty good. HR 874. This is their platform. I can't be mad at Facebook if they don't, I hate that they do it, the censorship, but hell, it's their platform. So I think we want to have these liberties and these freedoms, but if it belongs, this is somebody's platform, then they get to call the shots. So there it is, HR 874, the AOC Act. All right, we're down to the last bill for the day, HR 875. HR 875 is the United Nations Voting Accountability Act of 2021, the United Nations Voting Accountability Act of 2021. Representative Louis Gohmert, Republican out of Texas. This bill prohibits giving assistance such as various types of economic support or military training to countries that oppose U.S. positions on more than 50% of the recorded votes in the most recent United Nations session. So they're saying that they're not going to don't give our money to countries that don't support us. I ain't mad at you, U.S. This is Republican Louis Gohmert out of Texas. Hell, they voting against us. They say don't give them no money. Don't give them our money. United Nations Voting Accountability Act of 2021. Democrats, Republicans, like I say, two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. I'll be back here tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Here's the deal, y'all. I have been invited down to South Georgia to 2 speaking events, 4 cities that I'm able to go into on this trip. I need you to go to the website and make a donation. If you have not, please go to the website, tamaraforgeorgia.com. I'm formally announcing on Friday. I want to hit the road on Saturday morning, and I want to be gone for at least a week. There's 4 cities that we could really, really, really get the word out. And I don't want to miss these opportunities. So y'all, we need money. Our fundraising has been dismal. I know it's the summer months. I know we're moving slow. We're post-COVID. Everybody's trying to get their bearings, but please go to the website, y'all. These travels take resources. We don't have the money we need to even move around right now. So I need you to go to the website. My ask has been $100. Do what you can. Start where you are, but please go to the website, y'all. Please go to the website. This next week, we need to be moving around the state. We will formally announce our candidacy. Our ground game has always been the truth. It's always been the truth. But from the race we ran in 2020 and the previous races that I've run, I'm telling you, when we get on the ground, we make some things happen. We're going to continue to save money to get our media, because we will need media, y'all. We're going to need to be in these social media spaces. We're going to need advertising. We're going to definitely have to do some mailers. That's some hundreds of thousands of dollars. We can't wait. Please go to the website, y'all. Let's get on the road this weekend. Next week, let's get back out here, because we don't have time to waste. We have to use the time that we have, because we don't have the money. So we got to be mindful that we got time right now. So please go to the website, do what you can, make a donation. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. I see you, Clubhouse family. I'm coming over there in just a few minutes. I see you over here, YouTube family, with all your comments. You know, I'll put them on the screen on the way out. So I will see you tomorrow right here on Keeping Up with Congress.